This is the kid, DC Wrestling, back once again with another one like always. So the big hype coming out this week. Obviously it's been a trending topic even the past couple weeks. This whole Vince McMahon Netflix documentary titled the Mr. McMahon Netflix documentary, I should say. It finally came out a couple hours ago. Um, quick little summary of it overall. It was a pretty good documentary in my point of view. It pretty much talked about the history of the WWE, or how Vince McMahon built the WWE into this global billion-dollar empire we now see today. Pretty much going over some of the crazy stuff that went on during Vince McMahon's time period, and even at one point talked about the allegations and all that other stuff. But nevertheless, there were a few things that I caught on in the documentary that I wanted to point out. Some things that you probably knew, but just in case you probably didn't know, wanted to kind of go ahead and kind of shout them out real quick. And some of these I did get from a few Twitter threads, like this one Twitter user, it's Temper, and Tim Jarrell of PW Unlimited. I'm just shouting out a few of these guys. I know some of these dudes did live like Twitter thread during the documentary, which the first one I want to say, and I can't really tell you how many I have here, but the first, like, one of the crazy statements coming out of this documentary was that it was from Paul Heyman, and he had stated that at one point Shane pitched an idea he really wanted, and Vince said no, and then Vince then basically told Shane no while I'm alive, and proceeded to hand him a knife and told Shane to kill him to get what he wanted. Again, just goes to show you that Vince McMahon, like, the fact that he told his own son to like do that to him is insane to me. You know, you would think some that would be something that you would joke about, but even then, I don't think no father would joke to his son about that. Yeah, take a knife and literally stab me, kill me, just so that you can get your little bright idea you want. So Mr. McMahon said that for the first time. He revealed that when he was at a show with his dad, Vince McMahon Sr., that the announcer wanted more pay or he was walking out. And then because of that situation, Vince McMahon Sr., again, Vince's dad, had Vince commentate the whole show. So this was pretty much how Vince got his whole start in the commentating business. Obviously, Vince, before he even became publicly aired on owner of the company, he was a commentator, obviously. And another thing mentioned in his dad, he said that when his dad didn't want to be in the business anymore, he didn't know who to give the business to. And his dad was actually originally going to give the business away to Gorilla Monsoon. Obviously, they remember Gorilla Monsoon with the whole gorilla position, another key factor in the WWE back in the day. But yeah, it would have been a crazy, crazy, wild world we would have lived in if Gorilla Monsoon um, had the keys to the company rather than Vince McMahon himself. I wonder how the business would have been looking like today. I wonder if WWE would have still been around today, if I'm being honest. But he also stated that the day before his dad died, it was the only time that he told him that he loved him. So it feels like with Vince and his dad, it seems like that Vince didn't have the best childhood, it seems like, growing up. Also said that he went on a 2-day vacation. That's another thing I didn't know about. That when he went on a 2-day vacation, this is when he thought about the idea of WrestleMania. It's crazy how you think about the most biggest show of the year, like the biggest pay-per-view to this very day of the year for WWE, and you were literally on vacation. But hey, some of the most biggest ideas can just spiral out of nowhere if you think about it. And Hogan obviously was in the documentary. He brought up the fact that Andre told him to body slam him, even with a bad back. I know this has been talked about. I know Andre a couple years ago when he had his own HBO documentary, but Hogan said that he didn't know that was going to be the finish until he didn't kick out after 2. So Hogan was like shocked that Andre didn't kick out after he body slammed him. Who, for those who don't know, Rita Marie is pretty much the very first like referee, or even probably the very first person that like really came out and said like Vince McMahon like sexually like assaulted her and all that. And when she didn't complete his desires, it's just really gruesome. I can't even really go in word for word, but again, just goes to show you how cruel that this dude Vince was. Do that to a you know innocent young woman like that. I mean, it's just ridiculous, man. Situation with Bret Hart, Owen Hart, I should say, the whole Owen Hart situation. Bret Hart actually thought that they did this to get back at him, but when it was revealed to him that the whole situation with his brother was an accident, he forgave Vince. Obviously, the Owen Hart situation was one of the biggest tragedies in wrestling today, and a lot of people still feel like that show over the edge '99 when it had happened, it shouldn't have happened. And the last thing I'll bring up here was when they had asked Vince like about the character of Vince McMahon, like how similar was Vince McMahon, the boss, similar, like how was he similar to the character he played on TV as Mr. McMahon? And Vince was like none. Like they were the same person. And honestly, with the shit that Vince did on TV compared to what we now know, it honestly doesn't surprise me. His answer would be no. So but overall, man, I would definitely tell you to go check out this documentary. If you're a diehard WWE fan, like who's been watching for decades, online, period, a lot of this stuff you probably already know. But for those who probably don't know a lot of this stuff, like again, the whole WrestleMania and the stuff with his dad, like I didn't know about, so that was pretty much a shocker to me. But I say overall Netflix did a pretty good job and everybody involved with this whole Vince McMahon documentary. So there you have it.